Before you dive into this story, let me give you a few content warnings. The last thing I want is to catch you too off guard, dear. This tale may include death or reference to it, surreality, alcohol, smoking, unreality, and mild harm to children. But don't worry. While they may get some bumps and bruises, no children will die. Everyone who helped tell this story had a set of safety tools to use in case anything became triggering to them. But I want you to be safe as well. So if anything happens that is triggering to you, please do take care of yourself. Remember, you can always step away if you need to. Oh, well, now that we've gone through that, why don't we begin? Let's see what lies beyond the brook.
Hello and welcome to the third episode of Beyond the Brook, our Over the Garden Wall inspired miniseries using the Babes in the Woods role-playing system to tell the story of a newly formed wolf pack in the mysterious depths of the Backwoods. I am your narrator, Edward Spence, and joining me are our incredible cast. Hello, wolf pack. How are you all? Shall we go around and introduce the incredible wolves in this pack, starting with the lovely Lexi?
Absolutely. My name is Lexi. Today I'm going to be playing Gust, and a little Gust rock fact. I think that depending on when this episode, it's okay, timelines. Today is the first time that Gust has ever barked or howled. It's a little Gust fact for you.
And throwing the rock over to Laurel. Hi, Laurel.
Hi, I'm Laurel, or Laurel Rothamo on pretty much all platforms except on Twitch. I'm just Laurel. And I'm going to be playing Angie, who's a 6-year-old who has never experienced a crush until now. That's my rock fact.
And over to Stella.
Hello, I'm Stelluna on Twitch, Stelluna TV on all their social media. Today I'm playing Penny. A little Penny fact for you. Penny was not always a honey.
Interesting. Okay, and sliding across to C.
Hello everyone, my name is C. I use they them pronouns. I forgot where I was for a minute. I do use they them pronouns. That's true. That's a rock fact. But that's my rock fact and not Lou's rock fact. Lou's rock fact is that they're a wolf. They've always been a wolf. And if you say that they're not a wolf, they will bite your ankle. That's what I got. Wolf fact.
And scurrying over to Maddie.
Hi, I'm Maddie Duvernay. I'm also on all platforms as Maddie Duvernay. I use she, they pronouns, and so does Ixia. And Ixia's rock fact is that Sprite has been their first and only friend so far.
And speaking of friends, we could not do this without our incredible supporters and sponsors over at Die Hard Dice and Frivolous Bear. Thank you for making this wolf pack possible. We will howl your praise to the moon as often as we can. Thank you very much. And thank you for watching as well as we drag you kicking and screaming back into the Backwoods in Chapter 3, The Town. And so, the children's journey through the Backwoods continues. Leaving Tenniel's travelling circus behind them, they wander south towards the town of Denslow. But what of the lighthouse at the centre of the woods and its slowly dimming flame? And what of Lou's conversation with the shadows in the woods? Fields of wheat that stretch out as far as the eyes can see. Clouds pass by overhead, casting shadows down upon the crop below, and wind lilts across the golden ears of corn like a whisper. and along one of the many large indented paths through this field of crop, between the ears of wheat that sway in the cool afternoon breeze, bobs a pair of very different ears. Wolf ears. And as the wind brushes all about you, you turn around and realize that the others are a fair way behind you, beginning to catch up. As Angie, Ixia, Gust, and bringing up the rear, as always, Penny emerge, parting the ears of corn like curtains.
Come on! Hurry up! We're almost into town, I think.
Why are you going so fast?
Oh, because my legs are 3 times as long as yours. And also because I'm a wolf. Wolves move fast.
Okay, so you're a wolf, and I'm slow. Sure. So, where are we going into this town again?
There's delivery. I pull the basket out of me, and it's just completely filled with honey and things that were not honey covered that are now currently honey covered. I put it right back into me.
Do you want one of us to carry that?
Okay. I drop the basket that's completely honey covered into your hands.
Ugh. Wow, that's really heavy. I didn't know honey was so heavy.
It does get quite dense sometimes.
Gust, this basket is really heavy.
Well,
Ah.
that is very easy for someone like me to hold and pick up, actually, because I weigh just about, and since they're thinking for probably a little bit too long, I'm big enough to carry it. We'll walk up to the basket and say, "See, easy lift," and we'll lift it up.
Yeah. Can you,
I
brace
do it.
yourself?
Yeah, I can brace myself. That's gonna be a steam roll, right?
In this occasion, yes, we will say so.
Great. Okay, -1. Okay, 8 minus 1, 7.
7. Okay, so choose one. You avoid incoming harm, but you create a ruckus, or you take the harm as the basket falls upon your foot. But otherwise, you manage to keep up the illusion. It is up to you.
I think that I will go ahead and hold the bag, or hold the basket, and whatever environmental issue comes from that. I think Gust is just like holding on. I think he's like taking his hands away and like wiping them on his pants and then putting another one back and then wiping and then just like he keeps doing this over and over.
Okay. I will say in that case, you slowly begin to accrue corn and ears of wheat as you move along, as they just stick to your body. And I will say that any rolls until you clean them involving steam, you will be rolling at disadvantage.
Okay. I'm just like, yep, easy for me to carry through this plate of cord. Where's the cord coming from? Why is there so much cord? And I start picking things out, and everything is I'm just stumbling through, as I'm trying to get the honey off my hands, but then pick out the kernels. There's nothing I could really do.
Hey, be careful. I made that pie all by myself.
Oh, I would never want to disrespect such a fine work. Still keeps wiping it up.
I was gonna say, Angie does not notice that you're struggling. She's like so like in this like rose-colored glasses moment, and she just starts humming the song that you were singing on the bone instrument last episode, and she's just like.
As this humming floats through the air, surrounded by the rustle of corn and wheat, Ixia, can you make a wood move for me?
Yes,
So you minus your fear,
sure
and
can.
you plus your hope.
Oi, Hold on. Just wait a minute. God, what is my fear? Minus my fear and plus my hope.
Mm-hmm.
The 6.
A 6. As you stand there watching the group slowly fall into disarray around you, you see a small rustle just off in the distance, and poking through poking through the corn, you see silhouetted against the darkness 2 very wide eyes, low to the ground, almost as low as Angie. They blink twice, and then they disappear, and you can see the corn rustle accordingly in the direction that these eyes have disappeared.
Ixia slowly walks up to where they saw the eyes, and they kind of like try to look to see if it's still there.
I would say with a 6, it's hard to tell. Even Sprite appears confused and looks up in your direction.
Ixia turns around. Guys, over here.
Huh?
I think I saw something staring at us.
Oh.
Did you stare at it back?
It went away before I could stare at it back.
Probably got
I bet
scared.
it was a corn rabbit.
Oh,
Corn rabbit.
What's a corn
Interesting.
rabbit?
Is that a rabbit made out of corn?
No, yes,
Oh,
I think so.
I don't think that's
Delicious.
real.
I've seen one of those before.
You have?
Have not.
Oh.
Well, Mother Wolf says that
Interesting.
corn rabbits are very territorial.
Oh.
Well, then they shouldn't have gotten far. Maybe we should go try to find it.
Do you think so?
What?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what would Mother Wolf do?
Well, she'd probably go find it.
Yeah.
What about
Did we-
Penny's delivery?
Oh, well, we're really late anyway, so it kind of doesn't matter.
Yeah, I guess they'll understand when they see how fast you move.
Penny's
Yeah.
moving very fast today, thank you very much. I've been measuring, and you've actually been going a little bit quicker than you did yesterday.
Oh, thank you. Might be the motivation I have because I'm friends with you now.
This is
Angie is jealous.
that I think we should value Penny's efficiency and not take advantage in a bad way. But you're moving fast. We should just make our way to make your delivery.
I
Show
think we
them how
should do
fast
what
you're
Mother
being.
Wolf would do.
I
Well,
am
Mother
quite-
What
Wolf
if it
would
wasn't a
probably-
rabbit?
Huh?
What if it wasn't a rabbit and it's
Well, what else would it
it's
be?
one of those? What if it's the witch hunter? What if they've been following us?
They couldn't have been because we have an experienced hunter, an experienced fox, an experienced Angie, and an ooze with us. An oozy, quick speed person and me. So,
There is also the possibility that the person I'm supposed to deliver this to could have been your corn rabbit or some.
Oh,
do you
Well-
know who we're delivering this to?
You do not. All you have been told is the town of Denslow. That is all you know. And, no name.
Yeah,
No
I
name.
usually just go to where I need to deliver and I go, hey, I have a delivery. And then people help me.
so you don't know who this is for?
Oh,
Oh.
So
Okay.
you've never seen a corn rabbit, and you don't know where you're supposed to deliver to. I think that I might be the most experienced person here. Gus.
Actually, in matters of witchcraft, I agree. But this This is far deeper than witchcraft. This is a decision that we have to make. Our paths have branched off, and now we have to compete to see which way we'll go.
I mean,
Rock,
can't we do
paper,
both?
scissors!
Can we do both? Rock, paper, scissors? Gust almost drops the basket, like instinctively rushing to do it. And then
You
it's
try,
like,
it is cemented to one of your hands, so you have to do rock, paper, scissors with...
unnatural, but okay, let's do it. So Angie is standing for the Mother Wolf team, which is, I assume, Lou and Ixia, right?
Yeah.
And me and Penny are on the let's deliver this wonderful package. So we'll fight for it.
Okay.
Make
That's how
sure
every decision should be made, through a fight.
I agree.
That's what my parents taught me. 1, 2, 3.
I do throw rock.
You have no choice, your fingers
I'm
are
like,
stuck.
oh no, it's bad. Well, this was supposed to be scissors, but it's okay.
And she's kind of like playing it off like she did that on purpose, but really she doesn't remember how the game works.
It's always Thor's favorite.
I won, right?
I guess if you think that paper can actually do anything fundamentally harmful to rock. But yes, you won.
I don't know what fundamentally means, but it sounds fun. So, let's go. Corn rabbit.
Penny, are you sure it's okay that we're late with your basket?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. Ixia, which
I'm
way did you
used to
say the
just
corn rabbit went?
Just
It went that way.
Oh. Wait. What?
What?
Oh,
Should go.
okay.
Come on, guys, follow me. And I lead the way to where I saw the eyes.
So, as you move towards where the eyes disappeared, you walk through the fields. You pass through tall ears of corn, taller even than you, Lou. And as you make your way through, you are able to see small indentation making its way through. You also pass, and this is unusual, a large dirt square, perhaps no more than 40 by 40 feet. And the earth in this square is dry, as though nothing has ever grown in there. There is no root, no corn, no footsteps, no marks, nothing. Wheat stands around this place in a perfect square. But as you continue to walk, following this path through the corn, and as it parts like a curtain before you, you are greeted with a small town lying ahead of you. The little town of Denslow. A small circular collection of wooden buildings, all simply and lovingly made with sloped tiled roofs. You see that it runs next to a long stretch of railroad, moving from west to east, before sloping down southwards, disappearing into the distant tree line in the distance, and the depths of the backwoods on the horizon. And as you look around, I will say that you, Ixia, being the one looking out for it, you see a shape running away from you. A small shape. It looks like an upside-down oil funnel made of tin, and as it does so, you hear echoing through the air like high-pitched wind chimes, the soft sound of laughter.
I think I try to go towards the laughter. I kind of forget that everybody else is there, and all I hear is the laughter.
As you do so, you approach the town, and you see this strange shape move down, sort of running from the field of wheat through a patch of long grass before poofing out the other end, and you see a small figure wearing grey overalls and balanced on their head this strange funnel hat as this figure disappears behind one of the buildings. And as you begin to walk forward, and the rest of you presumably follow, you see the town open up before you. you see that tracing a path through the centre of town, a winding road of yellow hay, almost like a road, woven between the buildings. You see hanging from the rooftops of each building green sprigs of fir trees swaying in the breeze. And you also see several small businesses. You see a cobbler's with red leather shoes in the window. You see a place called Frank's Bakery. You see an upholstery shop called The Man Behind the Curtain, and a flower shop called Judy's Garlands. And as you walk through, you see that the windows of each of these establishments are dark. There are no lights inside, and the town itself is strangely quiet. And in the middle of this, stood next to the long stretch of railroad tracks, you see a set of steps leading up to a small raised wooden platform. Only two things stand on this platform. One is a very small and cramped-looking ticket office, and the other is a bench, on which you see slumped a small, sleeping figure covered in a checkered fleece blanket, and they are snoring.
You know, when people said that towns were sleepy sometimes, I didn't really know that's what they meant.
Did we accidentally go in the right direction for the delivery?
Yeah, no, we definitely did. That was my plan all along.
So it was meant to be. I see.
Yeah, but it doesn't seem like anybody's really here aside from the person sleeping over there.
Well, maybe they're all waiting on Penny to get here so that they can surprise her with gifts for the delivery.
What about the guy we followed in here?
Wait, I have an idea. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. And I had a weird feeling that would work.
As you say this, Ixia, you once more hear laughter down one of the nearby streets, and turning around you see the pair of eyes once more, with the upside-down funnel on top of their head, as they and they disappear behind the building once more.
Guys! Over there! And Ixia runs after the little funnel-head guy.
Huh?
I gotta figure out where he's coming from.
As Angie had cast the spell, I think Luke kind of like had stepped behind Penny, and ducked a little bit to try to get out of the spell's radius.
You can see right
then
through me.
Yeah, they realize they're like, oh, they straighten up again and start trotting after Ixia down the path.
What are the rest of you doing?
I think Angie... Sorry, you go.
I'm standing there holding the basket watching Angie.
Angie's frustrated that it didn't work, and so she's just gonna keep doing it for a little bit. She's got her eyes closed, and she's just squeezing her eyes closed harder and harder, and her forehead's all furrowed, and she's like, "There's no place like home. There's no place like home. Why do I remember that working somewhere? There's no place like home."
Gust, as these words are muttered, there is a strange taste upon the air. It has been scratching at the back of your head ever since you entered town, almost since you entered the field itself. And it is familiar, almost ingrained within you.
Angie, Penny, wow, it was so great. We should follow our friends and get on the road quick, fast, so we can get out of this place, right? Just deliver it and keep going.
See, I told you were scared last time. You're scared
I'm not
again.
scared. I'm not.
Scared cats.
I'm not. There is nothing to be scared of because there's no one here. So
Angie's magic work.
No. Well, I don't know, actually. What was the spell supposed to do?
I don't know.
Then maybe it did work.
Ixia, as you round the corner, following this small figure, you see that they are no taller than Angie, and from behind they look like a child. And as you begin to catch up, you see that that is exactly what they are. They are a child. And as you turn the corner following them, you are met with a large, open, circular town square. All around its perimeter you see tables, wooden tables. They have nothing on them, but they seem to be set up for something. And the ground all around is covered in yellow hay, similar to the tracks that are traced throughout the town. And in the town's centre, you see there is erected a large maypole, around which are twisted near countless emerald ribbons, matching the green sprigs that hang from the rooftops, and autumnal flowers. And all around its base, dancing with ribbons in hand, you see children. Dozens of them, laughing and playing and dancing and singing. They are completely swept up in one another's company. And you see the figure who sort of has been running away from you turn around to look at you and runs over to a nearby figure, a girl taller than the rest, wearing a blue gingham dress with brown pigtails framing wide features, and whispers into her ears.
Guys, I think we stumbled upon a little festival. This looks like fun.
Oh, they've got flowers just like you've got.
They do.
I do think that I have to remind you all, well, not remind you all, I have to tell you all that once my mom warned me of children that you could find in corn. Something about, like, children of the corn. And I don't know if that's, I mean, I know I'm a kid. I trust me. I don't know if
You were
trust
just in the
them.
corn.
Oh my god. All right, well, we got nothing to lose.
I think it's a celebration of some kind.
What are they celebrating, do you think?
I don't know. Let's ask one of them.
Show them my broom?
I think you should keep your magic tools to yourself so that nobody steals them.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's alright. I've got this. Very not climactically, I make my way past them and begin to approach. Delivery.
As you say this, another figure, with straw hat and denim dungarees, sort of turns around and immediately rushes over and sort of looking between you and then the wicker hamper that is stuck to Gust's hands. Just,
I know, sweeties. My dad told me we could be getting some for the Emerald Festival.
Yeah.
Your dad? But there's only kids around here.
Oh, yeah, no, they're on holiday at the moment, but, how many treats did you bring? 'Cause there's 1, 2, 3,
and you see that he's trying to count all of the kids around him.
It's too many for me to count, but, we can help you with the sweet treat.
Yeah.
I think we should trust him. He seems trustworthy. Also, if you need to help count, 6, 4, 7. There's at least 7.
As this counting is happening, you see the slightly taller girl begin to approach, and she just waves and,
Howdy, strangers. You here for the Emerald Festival?
Can I ask what the Emerald Festival is about?
Oh, for sure. Well, looking around, and she's pointing at all of the sprigs. We do it at the end of every autumn. So we go out, we pick evergreens, and we hang them around, and it's to just ensure that the greenery keeps all the way through winter. So that way, it's never cold, it's always warm. We like it to be warm here.
I like this place.
Angie starts accidentally talking in her accent. This is when Angie realizes she's neurodivergent. Is part of the festival that we eat these sweets?
Oh, absolutely. Hey, Ray,
and you see the kid with the straw hat just look up.
Ray, you wanna scoot just over there, and I'll talk to the strangers, okay? Okay, but we're gonna eat the treats, right? Yeah, sure, absolutely. Bye, Ray.
And Ray just scoots off and joins the ribbons, and the girl turns around to you all and, yeah, so our parents ordered them. They're not here.
Do you
Well,
know where they are?
yeah, where are they at?
Come over, for a moment. And she ducks behind one of the nearby buildings and just stands there awkwardly.
Guess we should go over there and...
Yeah, we follow.
Yeah.
Why are we whispering?
The smaller kids haven't cottoned on yet. Oh, we're pretending it's a game of hide and seek, but, truth be told, we ain't seen our adults in almost 2 days.
Oh,
What was
that's
the last thing they
nothing.
said to you?
My parents used to leave for like a lot longer than that without telling us.
That normal where you come from?
Wait, is this trauma?
I don't know what that word is.
All right, ignore me. That's so weird. It's really weird that your adults are gone.
Well, we all went to school 2 days ago, and then while we was in there, the wind started blowing something mighty strong, and we had to shut all the windows and the doors. And then when we came out, no one was here. No adults, no nothing. So I've been trying my best to keep the kids occupied, but they're so excited about the Emerald Festival, they've just been hooting and hollering, but I ain't found no sign of the adults.
Interesting.
Oh boy. You can't leave pups alone for that long. Mother Wolf says you can't abandon those in need, so sounds like you need somebody to keep an eye, an ear, and a claw out for you, huh?
Well,
I
you
don't
know
think they
adults who can help?
abandoned you.
Oh, I'm an adult.
No, you're not.
What? Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
How old are you?
I'm almost an adult.
Excuse me, you're in luck. Because if you're worried about wind, we have a professional expert on wind. He's
Oh,
standing
yeah,
right
that's true.
here.
Yeah, expert. Well, if you
I pointed
said...
in the wrong direction.
If you said a great big wind blew through here and all of the adults left, then I think that means you're on your own, and that means it's time for us to go because there are no adults to formally accept your package, Penny, meaning that you're contractually obliged to take the cookies back to where they came from, away from here.
Angie leans over to Ixia. I think Gust is scared again.
It's okay to be scared. I don't think the adults abandoned them, though. Something must have happened.
The wind took them, and you know what? You shouldn't mess with the wind. So this was really a lesson for all of us that we should try to stay away from the wind, that we should go.
No, you could probably bring them back, right, Gus?
What?
Yeah, you're in
no,
charge
you
of the
could
wind.
use your
Just
wind
bring
to
them
bring
back.
them back. Yeah.
No. No.
Yeah.
No, I mean, the wind is strong, like strong enough to take all of the adults away. But like, no, I'm not. That's not me. Like that. I'm just like a little, like a tiny little.
Well, I thought you were like the
you
coolest who's been in the woods forever. Huh?
I have been in the woods forever, long enough to know that we promised that we would deliver Penny's package, and we don't have the faculties to do so anymore, and that means that
this is not the Gust I know and love. Like, no, this is not the Gust I know, because the first Gust that I ever met was like, I'm fearless, and I know how to do things, and I can do things, and you're acting like a Gust that doesn't know how to do things and can't do things.
well,
So-
I can do things.
Yeah,
I know
can
things.
you?
Yeah, I know things.
Throughout this entire conversation, Penny's just been rubbing more honey onto your hand. like a more honey is gonna solve this situation sort of thing to dislodge you from the basket.
Yeah.
You're just covered in honey now. Yeah.
Can you make a... Let's make this a... A make... I don't know what this is.
Right?
Roll honey.
Roll honey. Just do a steam or a noodle check, I would say.
Okay. I will
Straight
use...
steam or noodle.
I'll use steam, and my signature item is honey,
Nice.
which I think gives me a +1.
So you add 1 to your result, yeah.
Okay, nice. That's gonna be like a 12.
Somehow, this avalanche of additional stickiness just begins to congeal in a way that is almost solidifying. Almost like, you know how honey just kind of like begins to crystallize inside pots sometimes? It's sort of doing that around Gust's hand, and as a result, it is cracking and it is shedding, and you can see... Penny, as you do this, on the other side of the square, the little kid with the straw hat earlier is just licking his lips as he sees sugary goodness just falling to the ground all around you.
No, listen, the delivery's been made. I take the basket and I drop it on the ground.
Oh, well, and as you do so, and as the girl in front of you goes to thank you, a horde of children just runs forward and, descending upon the wicker hamper, just takes it up, and it is just cascaded away from you towards one of the nearby tables as they all just descend like a pack of piranhas, just and you can see they have lost complete interest in you. The girl alone stands in front of you all. Well, if you need to be passing on, that's fine by us. We can
Yes. We really should be going. Yeah, I
No,
agree. Yep.
Gus.
Yeah.
They need our help.
They need food, and I need some of those sweets.
They don't have anybody to cook for them or care for them. They're just gonna be standing here waiting for their parents to come back. And what's gonna happen when they don't?
What can they do about the wind, though? You know? You ever think about that? What are they gonna
Gus?
do?
This is like at least 7. At least 7 of me. Okay? And I know that I'm responsible, and I'm dependent, and I can do it all on my own. But these guys, that's like at least 7 of them. I don't think
Oh.
I don't think they can do it on their own.
The math adds up.
Oh.
Do you think that if there was 7 at least of me, I could do it on my own, Gus? Be honest.
Oh.
Your silence is enough.
Yeah, God,
We must stay, and we must find the adults.
fine.
And I must
guess.
eat some of those treats. And Angie runs to the kids and joins them to eat.
Crumbs and sugary flakes just fly up into the air, almost like a wood chipper, as these children have descended upon this pack of snacks. And Angie leaves the 4 of you, and a very confused-looking Sprite just looking up at you, specifically Ixia, with a bit of a foxy shrug.
I turn and look very seriously to Ixia. Just so you know, if they haven't been eating real food, they're probably all going to become a problem for the next 15 minutes until they have their sugar crash.
Ixia turns around and picks up Sprite. Yeah, I know. And then turns to Lil and goes, have they had actual, any real food since your parents have been gone?
Well, I'm really good at making PB&J sandwiches, but that's pretty much it.
So they haven't had any protein, any fiber, greens?
I can fish for them.
Oh, well, there's a creek just in the woods, just around 30-minute walk that direction.
Yeah. I'm gonna fish so many fish for these kids. After we find their parents.
No. Oh.
Well, at the same time that we find their parents, we're gonna find parents. We're gonna find adult wolves, adult humans, I guess, and fish.
Okay, well, I guess the question is where they were seen last and what could cause them to leave. And with that, I think Gus is gonna look down at the ground and oh no. I think that the wind can carve out spaces, especially if it was a strong wind. I want to see the direction of the wind and if there were any footsteps that were possibly left behind.
Okay. I will say take a gander, and I will say do so at advantage.
Scary.
So,
Okay.
3 dice, and you just pick the 2 highest numbers, and you add your noodle.
Perfect. Okay. Let's do it. Ooh. I got a 13.
Gust. You look at the town all around you, and you see footsteps. Many of them are recent and small and frenetic, and you see that most of them likely belong to the soon-to-be uncontrollable group of children off to one side. You also see the hay that is spread throughout this entire town, the yellow hay that forms a strange kind of road throughout and between each abode. You see that whatever pattern it once had was dislodged, maybe around 2 days ago, by an immensely strong wind. A wind that moved southerly, coming in from the north. And I will say with a 13, you know what the wind's mood was. It was angry, recently so. And it was searching through the town, through the fields, strong enough, maybe even, to have dislodged buildings.
Okay, well, so to start, after just, looking around this place, well, the wind was here, just like our friend said, and it moved that way, and I'll point the direction that it moved. Beaufort Town, and it might have taken some buildings with it, with how strong it was.
I've never seen you move a building with wind, only a tent. Which was very cool, but can wind do that?
That is kind of like a building.
I guess so. I don't live in a house, so I don't really know.
I guess the real question is why would the wind have been angry at the children's parents?
Well, sometimes the wind can be a little volatile, and it can switch between knowing exactly where it needs to be and looking for the next place that it needs to move to. And what I will say is that it looked like it was definitely looking for something. Not really sure what, but seems a little suspicious to me.
Maybe the parents just got in the middle of whatever the wind was looking for.
Maybe if we find what the wind was looking for, we'll find the parents.
You'll never find it, but we can find the parents, baby. That's easier.
Angie runs over. She runs back over and she's got chocolate all over her face. She's like, did we just solve the mystery? Did we solve a mystery? Do we know where the adults are?
She's so much louder than usual. What happened? Did she cast a spell? She casting spells?
She ate a bunch of candy.
Did you say
She's
you
on
know
a
the
sugar
direction
high.
of which they went?
We know that the wind went that way.
And she takes her broom and she puts it between her legs and she starts going.
Angie, all scoot rolls from now on, you will be making them at advantage until you don't.
That's so funny.
So, as Angie rushes away, and the girl with the pigtails in front of you just kind of looks after her and, is your friend okay?
Don't worry,
She hasn't
she's
had
just
sweets in
casting
a long
spells.
time.
It's true.
Okay.
What's your name, by the way?
My name is Dorothy.
Oh.
There it is.
Do you know if your parents were awful people deserving of being carried away by the wind?
Oh gosh, no. No. I don't know why they would have upped and left, but I can't imagine it was to get rid of us or put us in any kind of danger. I don't think. I hope not.
Have you done anything awful worth being abandoned for?
Penny.
I don't think so. Like, I don't brush my teeth every night, but I don't think that's a sin. I don't know, is it a sin?
I
It's a
don't have
sin.
teeth.
I've never brushed my teeth in my life.
Yeah, me neither.
Oh, okay.
Angie yells from like the edge of the forest. You guys coming? Are you guys coming?
I have to make sure the witch doesn't disappear. And Lou goes bounding off toward Angie.
Wait. And as Lou heads off, Dorothy turns to the rest of you. Did your friend say witch?
Yeah, why?
Oh, well, just, his stories is all in the woods. We're told not to go out at night.
Why?
You not heard of the Witch of the Woods?
No. Lou, do you know?
Well,
Lou!
it's...
What?
Lou.
And Lou's like looking
come-
between Angie and the group still in town.
One is still, the other disappearing into the tree
I'm-
line beyond.
I'm going, y'all.
Well, it's half the reason why I've been trying to keep the kids as calm as I can. In the woods, there's a witch, and she lives in a hut that walks about on chicken legs, and at night she comes for children, and she takes them from their beds, and if they're found wandering out of the woods, she snatches them up and she throws them in her cauldron, and she eats them. I don't want the others to panic, but I'm just a little concerned is all. If we don't find the adults, there may be no protection against the witch in the woods.
I don't think this story's about Angie. Angie has a very small mouth, and I haven't seen the cauldron.
Oh,
Yeah, but Angie is also running all the way for it alone, so we should probably go catch her if that story is true.
Oh, okay.
Guys, I think I see something.
Dorothy will find everybody's parents. We promise. And Ixia runs after Angie.
Gust will just look at the girl, then look at the markings of the wind, look at his friends running off, and look at the other way. Like the path leading away from where we're going. Like, just there's a possibility that he could leave. But
As
yeah.
the very slow member of the party kind of turns to look at you. Gus, you okay?
Yeah, just making sure our tracks are covered. Let's go. And I'll
I
walk
don't
next
leave
to you.
tracks. You just see a trail of honey. If you want my
Yeah.
hand, you can hold it. I mean, you're technically already kind of holding my hand because you're covered in honey. But
I think that brooch glimmers, and Gus will look down at your hand and take it.
All right, let's go. Very slowly.
Gus, you are leading this. Despite your reluctance, you are still leading this. As Ixia, can you take a gander as you run alongside Lou?
Got a 3.
You don't notice anything. You mark 1 XP, but you do not notice an addition to their ensemble. Bobbing against their chest, a small rat's skull. You catch up with Angie on the edge of the tree line.
Angie, witch, you really... How do you move so fast? I run with the pack every single night, and it's exhausting to keep up with you.
Wind, what are you looking for? Hey, where are you? Adults? Adults?
Can you make a friend, Angie?
What is that plus? Mush?
Mush.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I got a 1, but then I got a 5, and then that's plus 2.
So 7. So we're twisting this
Wait,
a little bit, but I will say, with that, choose one of the following: a noise or a clue.
A clue.
As you step forward, you find yourself stepping down into a small indentation in the ground. You don't see anything, especially as your body begins to just come down a little bit from the sugar high. You see that the shadows of the trees are getting longer and longer as the sun begins to go down, throwing its orangey light across the golden field of corn beyond. But as you stand within the woods, you find that the shadows of the trees create this eerie, dark blue coating over everything. And as you look down, almost idly, to one of the shadows stretching across you, you realize what you have stepped down into. An immense footprint in the shape of a bird's claw. You are stood in the middle of a giant chicken print.
Okay. Angie, takes a bunch of steps backwards as she's realizing it, trying to get out of the footprint. And she's like, Lou? Lou?
What?
Look. And she points at the footprint.
And Lou, I think, looks, and their ears like flick forward, and then immediately like start to peel back against their head, and their tail goes still from the kind of the soft wagging that it had been going on this whole time. The witch. She must have been here recently.
Oh,
Do you think
I'm
she
right
called
here.
the wind? No, the big witch. The other witch.
Big witch.
Do you know the big witch?
That's what my dad calls my mom.
Rock fact.
That is so freaking funny.
Angie says
Lou
that
makes
with
a really weird noise.
Andrew says that with a complete straight face. Like, yeah, that's what my dad calls my mom. Is that who you're talking about?
Their voice breaks like 6 times.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
The rest of you, illuminated by the slowly setting sun, arrive at the edge of the woods as well.
A giant claw print.
Yeah.
Does the witch ride on a dragon, maybe?
Oh, well, no, the witch. Do I know that?
You, of all the individuals currently gathered, would know of the witch. You have heard tell of the witch, whispered through the woods, an individual who lives in a hut held aloft on chicken legs that moves, stalking through the woods in search of prey.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what a dragon is. It's a hut on chicken legs.
That's not how I remember dragons.
Oh, you remembered something. That's good, right?
Did I? Oh. Yeah. I guess.
Can Angie be looking around? Sorry.
Yeah, take a gander for me.
Can I use my special move and do stumble upon?
Yeah, absolutely.
Or okay. 5. Oh, I threw it. 5 plus 3 plus 0. 8.
You hear off in the distance echoing across the air.
Guys, did you hear that?
Yeah. Was that a dinosaur?
You know a lot of different animals that I don't know.
I guess I do.
Should we call back to it? Oh!
I'll say, make a friend, Lou. And as this is happening, Penny, can you take a gander for me?
Okay. That's be a 10.
A 10. As you hold on to Gust, you look down at your hand, and you see imperceptibly the tips of your fingers, almost like the fringe that covers one of your eyes. Just as that is purple, you see that the tips of your fingers are turning similarly so. It's hard to tell whether this is immediate, recent, or whether it has been growing over the course of the day, but you look from one hand to the other, and you see that it appears to be spreading very slowly.
That's interesting. Gust, that's interesting. Gust, did you touch something?
What? Nope. I've only had honey on my hands for the past 2 hours, so.
Oh. I let go of your hand. If you look at my fingers, they're kind of turning purple.
Purple? Well, I'm like purple, kind of, a little bit, but I don't know. Is it the hand I was holding?
It is both of them. Just the fingertips. Just the fingertips.
Oh, it's both of them.
Well, is there anything that you could... You don't eat, do you? Right?
No, I don't eat anything. I guess you could technically say that whatever I pick up, I eat. So, like, pine cones and acorns and sticks and leaves. But that's
I look at my
about it.
hand. Is there any possibility? Has this ever happened to you before? Have you ever changed colors or, you know, anything like this?
You see, if you could see both eyes, they would definitely kind of look up towards the colored bang.
I don't know. I think these things kind of just happen. Maybe it's not important. Anyway, how are you doing?
Well, my friend, I do think that we do need to stay on task here, which is you're turning purple. And our friends are ahead of us just a little bit. We're almost there, and you are still moving faster than normal. But I think we still have a little bit of time to try to figure out this mystery. I mean, are you in pain or anything?
I look down at myself. Is this painful?
It is not. But as you blink, almost like when you glare into a light and you can still see the residual effect, for a moment, you see a flash. A bridge. An old bridge. Across a river. And then it is gone.
Anything that you remember, or times that you turned any sort of other color?
No. Do you know any bridges?
Bridges. I would like to go back in my memory of all things distant and close to us, and see if I know anything about a bridge.
Okay, I'll say make a retroactive. Actually, no. I'm going to ask you to face your fear, Gust.
Okay. Okay. Well, I don't have any fear so far, thankfully.
You do, however, roll with disadvantage whenever you face your fear.
So that's fun. Let's see what I got. And is there anything I should add to this?
Straight roll.
Cool. 3.
Mark 1 XP as you close your eyes and cast your mind back to before the wolf pack, before this group you find yourself in. You cast your mind back to the things you saw within the woods from your unique vantage point. You remember the sights, you remember the sounds and the tastes, all these things that were kept from you for such a long time. And as you try to focus in on these memories, there is one that keeps repeating over and over and over. A little boy in the woods. A drop of blood. A dropped tear. And then you're back. Back in front of Penny.
I think the wind starts to pick up around Gust. Sorry, a bridge? A bridge?
Yeah.
No, never seen a bridge.
That's okay. I'm sure it's unimportant and won't come back up later.
Yeah. Could I take your hand again?
Yeah.
Hold very tightly.
As you hold, and as the tightness of your grip sort of moves through the hand itself until it is solidified inside. Lou, what did you roll to make a friend?
Honestly, I got distracted and I messed my dice up, so I'm just gonna try again.
You can roll again. You can roll
I'm
again.
so sorry. I forgot that I was doing that. Oh, okay. I do have a -1 to make a friend because of who I am as a person, but that is still an 8.
An 8, okay. So I will give you Do you want a response?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Sorry,
cool.
go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. That's good.
Just
as
I do.
as you call out, and your cry echoes around, it is met in kind. But as you strain one of your ears and it twitches in the darkness, the ever encroaching darkness, this cry becomes a word. Help! Help!
Ah, that is a classic wolf cry for help. Little witch, do you want to... You move so fast, but I don't want to lose you. You want to sit up here?
This is where I tell you I'm scared of heights. But
Okay, just hold my tail then.
okay. This seems counterproductive. I will get on your shoulders and close my eyes.
Yeah, okay, yeah. And Lou just kind of like grabs you, like doesn't pick you up like you should pick up a kid, just kind of like grabs you and lifts you up, puts you on their shoulders. Are you okay?
She's holding her broom and with one hand all like sticking out, and with her other hand she's covering her eyes, and she's like, let's go.
Yeah, your broom's hitting me in the head.
Okay. And so then I wrap it around, and now I've got you in a chokehold.
Yeah, witch, unhand me.
Unhand me. Release me.
Release me, witch.
Angie just keeps holding on. It's like she can't hear you because her eyes are closed.
I think Lou just kind of like reaches out toward Ixia. Help.
Angie. Oh, why don't I hold your broom for you while you're on top? I promise to take really good care of it.
And she starts to cry.
She's casting spells.
I don't want that. Can I get down?
Yeah, here. And Lou
Okay.
kind of just grabs and picks you up again and puts you down. Is that why you don't fly on your broom? You don't like it?
I do fly. What do you mean?
Oh.
How do you fly?
You fly low?
Everybody stop looking at me.
Okay.
Puts it in between her legs and she runs.
Lou like turns around and like walks backwards so they're not looking at you, but they're still following you.
Ixia, as you follow, making weird eye contact with Lou, considering that they are staring straight at you as they just kind of moonwalk back. Can you take a gander for me as you step away?
8.
8. As you step off, unbeknownst to the others, your eyes flick down a moment as you step out of this large chicken-shaped claw print. And you notice that as you've stepped off exactly where your foot has left the ground, a small flower has started to spread. Purple and yellow. Witch's hazel.
I think Ixia stares at the flower She knows it's probably needed, but she's afraid to pick it. She stares at it. And then she catches up with the others, keeping that in her head.
So, as all of you run through the woods, towards the sound of the screams for help, all of you, just roll 2 dice, and whoever rolls the highest, we'll see what happens.
2 1s, baby.
Snake eyes.
I am standing backwards. I rolled a 3.
I got an 8.
I got a 5.
Oh, I got a 6.
Gust. As you move through, pulling Penny behind you, as Penny, your arm kind of continues to stretch and stretch, not quite able to keep up with even Gust's slow pace. Gust, ahead of you, high in the treetops, you see 2 flickering orange shapes, eyes surveying the horizon. Except you realize they are not eyes at all. They are windows. Windows of a small building, higher than they should be. Vines and leaves and flowers hanging off a sloped roof, silhouetted in shadow, and underneath this tremendous structure, still and silent, 2 large legs, bent and bird-like.
I see the thing you were talking about, Lou, up there. I'll point it out to everyone. Do we need to get up there?
Is that
Heights.
is that where the cries are coming from?
I think so.
It is silent for now, but you think you're in the right place.
Hey guys.
Yes.
So, my sister, she used to read me a lot of scary stories. When I was even littler than I am now. And sometimes those stories would include monsters that would sometimes make themselves sound like they were hurt or needed help. But then it was just to trick people who wanted to help them. Unrelated, it's really quiet now.
You're right. What if the screams aren't coming from inside? And we were all just tricked?
Do you think my sister was trying to scare me?
Before you can complete an answer to this thought question in your mind, Angie, and you vaguely bring to mind your sister and the costume she wore that night, the last night you remember, suddenly echoing from the trees beyond, and from the building ahead of you, you hear another, "Hey! Hey! Hello? Y'all hear us?"
That sounds like an adult.
Are you an adult? Are you above the age of childhood?
Well, yeah. Howdy, strangers. We've been waiting up here for almost 2 days now. And as the sun continues to set, and as light stretches through the trees, it strangely illuminates the shape in front of you. And you see that the witch's hut is not a witch's hut at all, but rather a small barn, and the legs beneath it are not legs at all, but 2 tall trees, bending and straining under the weight of the building balanced atop it, and poking from out of the windows of this building, almost blocking out the orange light that comes from within, you see heads poking out, dozens and dozens of heads. Some have straw hats, some have bonnets, some corncob pipes, and others windswept hair, and there is a small man in their center with a bushy moustache and a small emerald green bowler hat who is waving down, "Hey! Howdy! Up here! Hey!
How'd you guys get up there?
Well, thank goodness you found us. While all the kids were in school, we adults were in the bar making final preparations for Emerald Festival. And then suddenly the north wind blew through town, whistling and a-tooting, and it must have had some anger behind it because it damn near swept up the building and swept us all the way up into the forest. Fancy that. And another voice comes from behind. We didn't ever think we'd get down again.
I can come get you.
Oh, well, we would be mighty obliged, young lady.
Angie looks at her broom and she said, "Okay, it's time for you to wake up." And she sits on it and she's like, and she kind of jumps like she's gonna go get him.
Y'all need some help. You need some help down there. We can't do much from up here, unfortunately.
No, I can fly to you. I can.
Angie,
Okay.
I don't think it's working.
You guys saw it work once. It works.
And I think if it's okay with Angie, / you, Laurel, I think Lou kind of like gets down and lifts Angie up while they're still trying, just like up, like just above their head. Is that right?
And then she looks down, realizes what's happening, and she's like,
Ah!
"No!
Ah!
And you just hear Ixie in the
Okay.
back silently whisper, "Simba."
Angie
I don't think that's
sits
working.
down defeated on the ground and kind of gives up, and I think her sugar rush is hitting her.
Think that Gust will, from standing at the back of the group, takes a deep breath, says, "Angie, get back on your broom.
Okay. I'm
You've
really
got this.
tired.
You're a witch. You could do this. You just got one
am-
job until you have to sleep."
I
You
am a
want more
witch.
honey? Have
Sugar.
a second sugar rush.
It kind of feels like cannibalism. And then she gets back on her broom and she looks at Gus and she said, "Okay."
I think that Gus is just gonna say, "Okay, just close your eyes and believe that you could do it, and count to, and remember what you said before. Just cast that same spell."
Okay. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. There's no place like home.
And with every iteration of that phrase, every utterance, I'm going to usher forth like stronger winds to lift her off the ground.
I will say, as you close your eyes and you feel remnants of something upon the barn, wisps, imperceptible to anyone else, but cloud-like structures around this 40 by 40 foot barn, and bringing them down, they spiral underneath Angie. She clicks her heels together, whispering to herself over and over, like a tiny hurricane. Angie, you begin to rise.
There's no place like home. There's no place like home. Guys, don't worry. I'm going to get you back home.
Just holding it up.
And she's kind of kicking her feet, like she's trying to swim, kind of, like towards them, like I'm coming.
As you do so, kicking, and one by one, you manage to bring these adults down, one at a time. The combined efforts of you on your broom, and Gust, with more and more ease, with each up and down, and up and down. The silhouette of this strange little child in a witch's hat on a broom, silhouetted against the slowly setting sun, as adults come down with a woohoo! Oh my goodness! And being brought down one by one
Hi,
until
it's
eventually.
nice to meet you.
You too.
Hi, it's nice to meet you.
Hi, nice to meet you too. As eventually around a dozen adults just stand next to all of you. And the man in the bowler hat and the moustache just, well, goodness gracious me. Oh, my goodness, the kids. How the kids doing? Have you come from Denslow?
They need fish so bad.
Well,
They've
There's
been
at
eating
least
right.
7 of them.
they haven't resorted to cannibalism now, have they?
No, they haven't. No.
Oh,
They've
I
just been
couldn't
eating a
leave.
lot of candy.
oh my goodness. And, oh my good. And a woman steps forward and, my goodness, you must be Penny.
Yeah.
Oh, hi, my name is Francesca. I'm the local baker.
Yeah.
We were told you were coming. We've honestly, we found ourselves in a right old pickle. We had a whole bunch of pastries ready for the Emerald Festival, and they just went off, all turned as bitter as pitch and sour as lemon. Usually we get our honey delivered from down south near the old bridge, but we just had to throw all of that away. So we are so thankful that you were able to bring all of your where are the pastries now?
I think the kids ate them.
And she's like doing this with her stomach.
Oh, well, you must feel like the luckiest kid in the world, being able to make all those little tummies all happy and full now.
Actually, I'm quite indifferent to it. It's kind of part of the job, and I don't know, I suppose it makes me feel useful.
Well, useful you are. And she reaches forward and tries to, like, sort of wiggle your cheek a bit, but her just, oh my goodness,
Yeah.
I'm awful sorry. I didn't mean to intrude like that.
It's alright, I didn't feel it.
Well, hey, the night is young. Surely you don't have any plans. What? We're 2 days overdue for a festival. Why don't you join us, guests of honor, as thanks for looking after our little young ones?
I want to
Are
stay.
they- Okay, can you tell us about the corn rabbits?
Well, by golly, we sure can. And the man just puts his arm around your shoulders, and you just feel as it slowly sinks down into you, Penny. And he is walking at such a pace that your lower half is slowly being left behind as he walks off. And, well, the thing about the corn rabbit is it is strongly believed that it was born from an ear, and continues onwards as the rest of the adults begin to move with the rest of you. And as you make your way back into Denslow, the adults and the children are all reunited. And all around the circular town square, white cloths are laid over all of the tables, and a cornucopia of food is spread out around as people dance around the maypole, and you see small torches being lit around, sort of swinging from nearby roofs, and you can see that the strange little slumbering figure on the station platform remains unmoved through all of this, snoring, his belly moving up and down and up and down. And as for the 5 of you, you are the guests of honor at this festival. There is dancing, there are eating competitions, and there is a band playing off to one side. And as the 5 of you sit in the center of this semicircle that stretches around, as the cacophony begins to die down, the 5 of you, with Sprite curled up underneath the table beneath your feet, Ixia, are afforded a small moment of calm. Just the 5 of you, as night falls upon the little town of Denslow.
Ixia reaches out to Angie, and a nice little cherry blossom flower appears in her fingers, and she puts it in Angie's hair. It's like, I'm really proud of you. You did really good today.
Angie turns around because she's been making a crown out of orange leaves. And she's like, I was going to give you this. And she's been making them for everyone. and she's like, thank you so much. I think today was the perfect example of teamwork, making the dream work.
Very
I
wise
agree.
Thank you for the food crown.
begins to just like sink in through my head and then get dissolved inside my body.
I think Loop also puts the crown on and it like flops over one ear in a weird way. And they just kind of go, you know what you were saying earlier, Angie, reminded me of something Mother Wolf says, which is that sometimes when you're scared, you have to be brave, especially if it means doing the right thing and helping someone in need. And I just thought you were pretty brave today. So, good job, little witch, I guess.
Ixia takes the crown that Angie made her and puts it on top of her crown. And you slowly see Ixia's crown and the one that Angie made mold together.
Thank you. I couldn't have done it without your guys' help. And also, if you guys ever see me do magic and it doesn't work, no, you didn't.
You got it.
And I think Angie's been like looking at all the other kids her age playing, and she's like trying to listen to everybody talk to her, but she can't remember the last time that she got to play with kids her age. So she kind of gets up and she like, wipes off the leaves off of her dress, and she goes, "Excuse me," and she does a really clumsy curtsy and she runs to the other kids to go play with them.
You find yourself surrounded by Dorothy and her 3 friends who are closer in age to you. A small, scared-looking boy with wild mane of hair, one with a straw hat and dungarees, and the other with the small tin oil funnel upside down, as you just run about the maypole, dancing and laughing and playing. And the rest of you look on. Ixia, your crowns melding together, and Lou, yours flopping over your ear, and Gust. It is calm in the skies. The nighttime air is still. For now. And Penny, your fingertips, you see, are still purple. But can you take one more gander for me?
Okay. That's gonna be an 8.
An 8. You do not see for the light of the night. But your fingertips are turning not just purple, but in the depths of this color, they are turning black. And you see, or rather you don't, that scattered around the town, the remnants of your gifts, the remnants of the pastries and the tarts and the cakes, the honey glaze, or what remains of it, leaking out onto the ground. Black, like oil. It seeps out. Sweetness turning bitter and turning sour. And as the town dances, and as the tip of your fringe begins to turn black also, in the distant tree line, unseen by all of you, though listening to the music and watching the light that emanates from this small little town, in the shadows of the Backwoods, there is a barn standing upon a pair of bent legs. But upon closer inspection, the trees are not trees at all. They are giant chicken legs, and the small barn is not a small barn at all, but it is a witch's hut, with flowers and vines, purple and yellow petals hanging off its roof, and framed within the window, cloaked in shadow, a figure watches on, and with a blink of their eye, they disappear into the darkness of the hut, and it moves off, leaving giant footprints in its wake. And that is where we're going to end this week's chapter.
Yay!
Woo!
What the heck?
I'm
I
terrified.
don't
Oh
know.
my god.
Maybe there's more than one witch. I don't know.
No, there can only be one. In this
There's only one. There's only
Highlander
one witch, and
rules.
she is 6.
And she can only fly sometimes.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is it for this week. We will be back again next week. You're all wonderful. You know that? You're all great.
No,
No.
No,
No,
no, no, no,
you.
no, 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 no.
No,
We'll
no,
be back
no.
next week, but in the meantime, thank you again to our incredible sponsors. Do go check them out. They are Die Hard Dice and Frivolous Bear. Thank you, as always, to our producer, Drac. And remember, what do we say to the moon? We'll be back. Bye-bye-bye. We'll see you soon. Mwah. We love you.
Whoa.
And
I'm
we're
so
out.
sick.